Hello again guys, welcome back to the channel, and it's another Football Manager 2023 experiment with me, Jayhuahua, and today, nice and simple, we've only gone and flipped the football pyramid. Let's get straight into it. Right, we're on the right hand side because of the league table, and I've already got loaded up the Premier League, and as you can see, very reminiscent of the Vanarama National League, and that's because I've swapped them. That's the whole premise of this experiment. The English football pyramid has been flip reversed, blazing squad style. The Premier League is the Vanarama National League. The Championship is League 2. League 1 is League 1, because that's how flipping things over a central point works. League 2 is the Championship, and the Vanarama National League is the Premier League, plus the unfortunate victims of alphabetisation, Woking, Wrexham, Yeovil and York. My apologies go out to you guys. Yeovil, I feel like you guys deserve it after what we put out on the channel with the max facilities. So no apologies to Yeovil, but Woking, Wrexham, especially to York, because they've also done very well on the channel with their another experiment. Look at me cross-promoting the experiments on the channel. If you've not seen them before, go and check them out, but not yet. After this one, stick around because there's lots to get into. The intro's done. We're here. We are in 2022. I've simulated a hell of a long time, to be honest. We're going to jump through 1 year to begin with. See who goes up. Only 2 teams go up from the Vanarama National League every year, so it's going to take a while for some of these teams to actually make it out of this league, especially with only one going up automatically and one by the playoffs. Playoff football can be a vicious beast, and the best teams might just falter in those one-off games in a final or the semis. So you could find some of the bigger teams actually getting stuck down here and not being able to replenish their world-class players. If they get stuck down here for 5 or 6 years, they might find it hard to get out. What's going to happen? We will see. See what's happened in the first year. So the Vanarama National League, Manchester City have gone up. Liverpool have qualified for the Europa League. Manchester United have qualified for the Champions League. They won the Europa League. So we're all over the place. United have won the Europa League, whilst coming 5th. Chelsea have been promoted via the playoffs. Liverpool have won the... What have Liverpool won? Liverpool have won the FA Cup. Middlesbrough have won the Carabao Cup. So yeah, as you can see, Man City have gone up. Liverpool winning the FA Cup to get into the Europa League. United winning the Europa League to get into the Champions League. Chelsea winning promotion via the playoffs. Wrexham, Woking, York and Yeovil all going down, to be expected. And the gulf, I mean, I'm in the way. I'm just consistently in the way here. Yeovil finished bottom. 1 win against Liverpool. Who saw that one coming? York beat Leeds, Yeovil and Woking. Woking beat Crystal Palace, York, Yeovil and Wrexham. And Wrexham just beat Yeovil twice, York twice and Woking. 6, 10, 14 and 17 points for those teams. The next was Brighton, who finished on 48 points. City lost just once all season, losing to Crystal Palace. So, in terms of transfers then, Son went to Real Madrid. Odegaard, Tierney and Tomiyasu all left Arsenal. Odegaard going to Bayern and Tierney and Tomiyasu going to Barcelona. But other than that, no massive... Marcus Rashford went from Man United to Tottenham for 14 million. Why is he worth so little? Is it because he's genuinely in the Vanarama National League? Some of these transfers, I'm going to have a quick skim down this now. Doesn't seem to be anyone too outrageous, to be honest. So, there we go. Man City have won the league. Let's go and have a look at the Premier Division, which was won by Chesterfield by 6 points. Relegated were Wellston, Eastleigh and Maidstone. Champions League football for Aldershot, Notts County and Gateshead. Bradford City, Sutton United and Northampton Town getting promoted to the Premier League. There we go. We have seen the first season. We're going to jump through just another year. We're going to do yearly increments for the first few years, because we're going to see how some of these teams get on in the Champions League that were in the Vanarama National League. I'm sure they're going to finish pretty near the bottom. And it's Liverpool and Aston Villa who've gone up this season. Field, St Albans, Darlington, Hampton and Richmond all going down. But 10 points being deducted from Crystal Palace and Leicester For administration, I'm just going to move out the way while I show you that. In terms of league positioning, well, Arsenal nearly winning the league, 4 points away from Liverpool, and unfortunately, the second place team has not won the playoffs for the second season running. Aston Villa with the most goals scored though on 99. Any big transfers? Pedro Neto's gone from Wolves to Benfica. Kulusevski to Tottenham from Juve. That was already pre-agreed. Declan Rice has gone to Barcelona for £27.5 million. What a bargain. £27.5 million for Declan Rice. Imagine. You're on 83k a week. Martinelli's gone to Inter Milan. Anthony Gordon's gone to Derby. Sorry, Derby fans. Ollie Watkins has gone to Arsenal. Yeah. Emil Smith-Rowe to Borussia Dortmund. And the Premier Division was won by Sutton United, Bradford City and Northampton, and Solihull Moors making up. And Dagenham and Redbridge, of course. So that's 5 Champions League places for English teams. Not sure why. Chesterfield down in 7th. Of course, Sutton and Bradford and Northampton were the teams that came up. So they were League 2 calibre teams. You'd expect them to be doing well. Of course, Man City and Chelsea did go up, along with Blackburn and Middlesbrough. Man City losing just the one game again, losing to Millwall. Millwall beating Chelsea as well. Millwall finishing 5th. Giant killing. Look at that, 127 and 124 points for the top 2 teams. Even Gerrard has taken the Chesterfield job. I say, so Gateshead finished bottom of their group with Leipzig, Lazio and Olympique Marseille. No goals scored. 14 goals against. They did get a 0-0 draw against Olympique Marseille, though. Go on, Gateshead. United winning their group, qualifying for winning the Europa League, of course. We remember Notts County, again, no goals scored. 6 defeats this time for the English team. Chesterfield, again, 6 defeats. They did score, though, against Glasgow Rangers. And Aldershot, I'm in the way. You can take my word for it. Minus 20 goal difference. Played 6, lost 6. Not a great showing for the English teams in the Champions Leagues. That being said, you've got 5 teams in the Champions League from last season. I can't work out why. Who knows? Anyway, we're going to jump forward through another year. We're going to see how teams are getting on. But before we do, this video's rumbled on long enough before I've gone on the beg for subscribers. Channel is going through the roof at the moment. We are really fast approaching that 1,000 subscriber mark. It would mean the world to me if you could be one of those 1,000 and help me get there that little bit quicker. However, if we're already at 1,000, don't feel left out in the cold. Come and join the party. Get in as one of those subscribers. You're always welcome. While you're here as well, to push this video out to as many people as possible and the other videos on the channel, please do drop a like on it. Check out some of the other experiments as well. There's a lot there. I'm sure there's something for everyone. And most importantly, leave any comments, 1, about this experiment down in the comments below, but 2, any ideas that you've got for future experiments and simulations, because I'd love to hear them. And I am putting a lot of them into practice that have been suggested already on the channel. Some of them are already out on the channel. So yeah, if you've got any ideas, please do let me down below. Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear them, and I will endeavour to get to them. So yeah, but that's it. That's the beg out the way. Subscribe to the channel. You've had plenty of time while I've been waffling. Let's jump through to the 3rd year, because, spoiler, I've done over 100 years in this simulation. We're not checking in every year. This is the last time we're doing a singular calendar year. Honestly, we're going to start going in higher increments. Let's go through one more year to 2025. Derby County have won the Premier Division, with Watford also getting promoted. Derby County are the current Premier Division champions, with Anthony Gordon, one of their better players. Key player, Anthony Gordon. Oh, Arsenal have fallen away horrifically. I mean, to be safe, fallen away horrifically. Down in 6th, 98 points. 90 points, quite often in the Vanarama National League, is enough to get you promoted. 4 teams getting over 100 points here. Wolves qualifying for the Europa League, probably by winning the FA Cup. They have won the FA Cup. We've got Liverpool, Man City and Wolves winning the FA Cup in this experiment so far. Brighton getting promoted via the playoffs, and Manchester United going up by 1 singular point by beating Tottenham, and the first Premier League team to be relegated from the Vanarama National League. It's Bournemouth in Season 3. The gap is closing in gulf of quality. Yeovil, who did come back up, have gone straight back down. I've got no sympathy for you, Yeovil. I gave you all the facilities in the world and you let me down in a different video. Go and check it out on the channel. Second time I've promoted that. Don't go and check that video out. They've annoyed me. It was underwhelming. Go and check out some of the other videos on the channel. Sorry, Yeovil. Not sorry, Yeovil. Anyway, we are starting to see a little bit more of a mesh of the leagues at this point. Quite a few Premier League teams have left the league, and I guess Man City are probably in the Championship. They are in the Championship. So did they win League One? Of course they won League One. Chelsea come in second? Of course they did. So there we go. We've got Maidstone and Wellston also were in the Vanarama National League to begin with. So they've had back-to-back relegations. Yeah, they've been relegated 3 seasons in a row. So while we've seen Man City and Chelsea's success flying through the leagues, some of the Vanarama National Leagues teams are flying the other way, sinking, shall we say, in quicksand of the football pyramid. What am I on about? Champions Leagues then. Leipzig have won the most recent Champions League. Bayern Munich won it the season before. Let's have a look at the stages then. Last season, and it's the league. The first time the league phase was introduced. And Solihull Moors, Northampton Town, Sutton United, Dagenham and Redbridge, and Bradford City make up 31st to 36th. Ferencváros are in there. Dagenham and Redbridge beat Ajax 1-0. Bradford City didn't win, but they drew 3 times. Once against Ferencváros, once against Napoli 0-0, and once against Galatasaray. Liverpool here in 17th, qualifying for the Champions League probably by winning some sort of domestic tournament. Or Europa League. Yeah, they won the Europa League the season before, so 3 back-to-back wins for English teams. United, Liverpool, then Man City in the Europa League. Fair play to them. Yeah, Jurgen Klopp's still the manager of Liverpool. The Premier Division has slipped to second in terms of competition reputation. The Spanish League has overtaken it. We are going to start jumping through at higher intervals now. It's going to be 4 more years to get us to 20. We're going to jump through 5 more years, actually. We're going to jump to 2030. Let's see how we're getting on. Right, Man City. So after Derby won it, Portsmouth then won, then Chelsea, and then Man City have won the last 3. In terms of Premier League teams back in the Premier Division, we've got Aston Villa, Brighton, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, not Norwich because they're not in the Premier League, Tottenham, West Ham. So some teams have managed to make it out. Who hasn't though? Bournemouth are back in the Vanarama National League. However, we've still got Crystal Palace, we've still got Fulham, we've still got Nottingham Forest, and that's it. That is it. Leeds won the most recent season with Everton getting promoted. The season before was Brentford and Leicester's turn. Then Arsenal and Wolves the season before that. Newcastle and Southampton the season before that. Tottenham and West Ham. In terms of Champions League, then past winners, Juventus, PSG, Atletico Madrid twice. Real Madrid coming runner-up 3 seasons in a row, twice against Atletico Madrid. That is heartbreaking for them. English teams are making a bit of a resurgence though. Chelsea and Liverpool coming runners-up in the most recent seasons. We're just going to whip through the Champions League group phase just to see where people finished. And Sutton United actually only finished 33rd with a win against Maccabi Haifa. Portsmouth also got themselves a win, beating Olympiacos. Stockport beat Club Brugge. Derby County up here. 4 wins for Derby. Benfica, Zurich, Ajax and Olympique Marseille. Minus £18 million. James Ward-Prowse is their captain. Norwich and Burnley and Portsmouth here in the Champions League. Actually getting quite a few victories under the belt here. The English teams are making a comeback. Manchester City have slipped down the league somewhat. The English league, however, has slipped to 4th in terms of competition reputation. Will it recover? And are any teams going to manage to remain in and amongst it? We are 8 years into the future. We're jumping 12 more years now. So we're 20 years into the future. Let's see how the Premier League looks. Has it improved from 4th? Is anyone still in the Vanarama National League? This is all stuff that we're going to find out. Stay tuned. The drama, the tension. YouTube's probably going to be putting ads in between this as well because it's very clever and it knows like the intervals. Now making no money off it at the minute. We've not got 1,000 subscribers. So subscribe! Second beggar of the video. Right, 2042. And we can actually see the most recent Premier League season with Watford and Burnley getting Champions League places. Oh, and in the last 12 years, well, the British League, English League, the English League has managed to get itself back to top. Slipped down to second in the last season, but it's been top for quite a while in terms of competition reputation. It has made a resurgence. And in terms of the Premier League, then, we've got City, Liverpool, Watford, Burnley, Chelsea, Bradford, Tottenham, Villa, United, Derby, West Brom, Dagenham and Redbridge is still there. £82 million. They've got a 19,000 capacity stadium built in 2024. This is the thing. A lot of these stadiums would have had to have been built to accommodate Premier League football. Stockport County. Charlie Patino's the manager of Stockport County. Youngster Charlie Patino's got some good stats, hasn't he? And Charlie. Oldham have just been relegated. Spoiler, I might be getting relegated with Oldham. Not from the Premier League, from the Championship. Oh, what a drag this season's been. But anyway, past winners, last 12 years then. So since 2030, in City, Liverpool, basically every year, apart from Watford snuck in there with one. But Aston Villa coming runner-up as well. Watford are up there. Watford are bloody up there. Go on, Watford. They've won a Conference League. Watford have won a Conference League, so have Norwich. And they've come runner-up. Man United have won one. Luton have won a Conference League. Aston Villa, Derby, Luton have won the Europa Conference League. Mikel Arteta in charge of Luton. All happening. All happening. Absolute scenes. Europa League then. Chelsea, United, City have won one. City have won a couple. Champions Leagues then. City have won a Champions League. PSG have won 3. Real Madrid have won 3. Atletico Madrid beating Real Madrid in the final again. Oh, Real Madrid have been mugged off by Atletico Madrid in the finals here. Watford getting to the Champions League final, coming runner-up to PSG. PSG have won 5 in this experiment, coming runner-up 3 times. The English teams are on the way back. They're on the way back. We've had a look at the Premier Division. Let's have a quick look at the Championship. Oh, here we go. Chesterfield have just beaten Leeds in the final. So Norwich, West Ham and Chesterfield are going up. In terms of... Let's go to the Vanarama National League. Then Hereford are getting promoted. Scarborough Athletic are also getting promoted. There are no teams from the Premier League present day, real life, in the Vanarama National League at this juncture. Not in the Vanarama National League North, nor the South. We've still got Everton down in League 2 here in 10th. Nottingham Forest nearly getting relegated out of the Football League, finishing 22nd, as you can see here. Palace, Fulham, Southampton, Bournemouth, all in League 1. Fair play. Well, we are 20 years into the future, but I did tell you I've simmed 100 years. So we're going to do 2 more stops, because this has rumbled on this video as now. 2 more stops, 30 more years, and then the final 100 years in the future. As we can see, Liverpool have dominated over recent years in the Premier League. The English Premier Division is top in terms of competition reputation. 5 teams qualifying for the Champions League. 6, including Tottenham, absolutely. 10 teams qualifying for Europe. Absolute scenes here. Stockport County snuck in there under the radar. I was about to say, look at this. Villa, West Ham, Burnley. No, Stockport bloody County. Oldham are in the Premier League there. Chelsea nearly getting relegated. Winning on the final day against Luton. They actually beat Luton. They were on the same points. What a head-to-head. What drama that was. Final day. Safety. Chelsea beating Luton. Hat-trick for Bolanos. 90th minute as well. Oh my word. Give this guy a pay rise. 110k a week. He's not that good, is he? Don't give him a pay rise. Maybe that's why you're doing so bad. Solihull Moore still up in the Premier League. Right, before we... yeah, let's look at the past winners. So, we were last here in 20... Was it 42? Man City have just been in an era of domination. And then Liverpool, Man United have won a few. Actually, Man United had really good 50s. We've got a couple for West Ham and a couple for Aston Villa. and a solitary win for Newcastle. But then Liverpool have gone on a bit of a tear again. Aston Villa coming second a hell of a lot. Aston Villa, the team coming through. On the rise, Aston Villa. Go on, Villa. It's a team on the rise indeed. Bloody hell. 3 Champions Leagues for Aston Villa. Losing to Liverpool in the final in 68-69, but then getting revenge on Liverpool, beating them in 71-72. Absolutely brilliant. West Ham coming run up to Juve here and Bayern Munich. West Ham have won a Champions League. They beat Man City. Having lost to Real Madrid in the final the season before, West Ham have come runner-up in the Champions League quite a lot. Oh, 3 times. They've won it once. Lots of FA Cups for West Ham, Watford, Aston Villa. Oldham have won one here against Newcastle, and Stockport have won it back to back. Bradford City won it down here. I've not checked the FA Cups in a while, have I? So Bradford City, we'll probably come back and do these tournaments as we get through. Let's have a quick look at the Vanarama National League then, just to see if we can see any Premier League teams here, and it doesn't look like we can. So the 50 years have been kind to the Premier League teams. They all look like they've at least climbed out of trouble and got themselves back to the Premier League. Yeah, no one in League 2 either. Wolves are in League 1. That's about it. Forest have just been relegated from the Championship. Fulham are down there. Everton finally getting back up the leagues. Leeds, Southampton, Brighton, Norwich still yo-yoing. Actually not yo-yoing as much as they used to be. They were here though in the 50s. Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Right, so we're there. We've the status quo has returned. The Premier League is almost back to where it once was. I mean, you've got a few teams up there that shouldn't really be there in reality. So we've got 50 more years to travel through. Because I've simmed it, we might as well go and have a look at it. If I told you we'd got 100 years to sim and we just ended it here because we thought, well, we've seen it all, you'd be fuming. We're going to jump through 50 more years. As always, under promise, over deliver. I've only gone and brought you back 107 years in the future. 57 years since we were last here, because cheekily simmed an extra 7 years. Not through any reason other than I just left it simming and this is where we ended up. So Aston Villa have won the most recent Premier League season. Norwich coming 4th. We saw them having a bit of a yo-yo in the 50s. Well, Norwich are there in 4th. Cardiff getting Europa League football. We were last here in 2072, and it was just the start of the Aston Villa era. Aston Villa taking it away from Liverpool, having finished runner-up behind them so many years. Started to win it. Oh, no, they didn't really, did they? Because Liverpool started wrestled it back. And where did Villa end up? Villa were nowhere here. Villa have won quite a few, though. West Ham as well. Man United have come back with quite a few. West Ham have won a lot of Premier Leagues, to be fair. And Aston Villa have won it most recently. West Ham, 5 Champions Leagues as well in the 109-year experiment. We were last here in 2072. We'd seen West Ham come runner-up so many times as well. West Brom coming runner-up here against Atletico Madrid. That's caught my attention straight away. Aston Villa and Liverpool jostling for Champions Leagues. How many have Aston Villa got? 7? Liverpool are on 24. Ugh. Boring. PSG, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Villa, Milan, Newcastle coming runner-up. Have Newcastle ever won one? They've got 8 Europa Leagues, 7 in the experiment. They've never won. But that's Ash. You don't see many just moustaches, do you, on the regens? Sorry, I'm getting distracted, gang. This happens all the time. You know the drill. If you've been here before, this is probably what you come back for. Scatty brain just all over the place, noticing things. Right. Anyway, I'm not even talking about the people who've won it. No one out of the ordinary. But West Ham, look, what? West Ham, West Ham win it 4 years in a row. I'm flabbergasted. I'm trying to get my words out. Keep scrolling up, and bloody Norwich have popped up with one. Who put 50p in Norwich? Surely they've the Wes Houlihan Park. They've surely had a tycoon takeover, right? 2085, Dodorich Dodorich, this guy is a tycoon. I don't even know why I'm trying to pronounce his name. He's obviously a regen name. Arsenal have won a few recently. Yeah, so then Europa Leagues, West Brom, West Ham. Villa, West Brom have won quite a few Europa Leagues, to be fair. 7 of them. Watford, Villa, Stockport County win Europa League in 2088-89. Derby, Burnley, Arsenal, West Brom, Watford. Yeah, they're all there. All these teams. Any conference leagues, then? Not Stockport again. Stockport won it the Conference League the year before they won the Europa League, so they've literally gone on a European tear. Watford, Ipswich, Burnley. That's about it, right? FA Cups then, yeah, Norwich have won a couple of FA Cups. Norwich won an FA Cup, Liverpool, Arsenal, West Ham. West Brom. Barnet have won an FA Cup against Stockport in the final at the turn of the century. Barnet beating Aston Villa in the 70s as well. Stockport winning a few. City winning quite a lot as well. Dagenham and Redbridge back here. And then cheekily, we're just going to have a quick look around the Carabaos. Nothing really to note. Cardiff coming run up to West Brom here. Not a lot. Barnet running up against Newcastle, but there's not much of a muchness. So the only thing really to look at that we haven't looked at is internationally. I could spell World Cup. The World Cup. England beat Switzerland in Qatar, much like in real life. Portugal, Brazil, France, Brazil, Germany, Portugal. So England didn't win it after winning in Qatar against Switzerland. They didn't win it for another 50 years. 2074 against Brazil. Switzerland coming third that year. USA winning it in 2054. Then Croatia, then England, then Portugal, Spain, Italy, France, and then Portugal before England, Spain, England, 4 in a row for England. And just seeing here in 21-14, England beating Scotland in the final. Absolute devastation for Scotland. We are going to quickly look at the Euros. They've only won 4 European Championships. But before we do that, we're going to have a quick look at the managers, and we're going to scroll all the way down. We just need to see when Ralph Hasenhüttl was England manager. He wasn't. Ten Hag was. Xavi Alonso was. Oh, wow. Well, I can hear the sound of bingo cards being ripped up. Ralph Hasenhüttl was not the England manager during this experiment. The devastation. In terms of the Euros then, yeah, England won a few, Spain won a few, Portugal, Serbia have won one here. That's about it. Spain have won a lot, to be fair. Spain have won a hell of a lot. They've won 11 Euros in total. 3 of them in real life? So 8 in this experiment, and 5 World Cups? So they've done pretty well of Spain. They've done pretty well. Well, there we go then. That is the final Premier League season of this 107-year experiment of a flipped football pyramid. Who was the best team of the experiment? Aston Villa were pretty good. West Ham were pretty good. But I think I'm going to have to give it to Stockport County. Stockport County were the ones that won the most, in my opinion. They weren't in League... Where were they? Were they in League 2 or League 1 at the start of the save game? I don't know. But the point is, Stockport County have made it to the Premier League, and they're not there now, but they have won quite a lot of stuff. So fair play to Stockport. Let me know who you thought the best team in the experiment was and what you thought of it. Yeah, I'd love to hear any constructive feedback or whether you just enjoyed it. Anything else you'd like to see, like I said earlier, please let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. The 3rd time I've asked in this video. If you still haven't done it, coming for you. Take care, gang, and I'll see you soon.